I have definitely a lot of anime hot takes under my belt that have angered a lot of people throughout the years. I've been alive in this earth for a good 68 years. So during that time, I've made quite a list of animes because of the takes that I've had since I was able to see the birth of anime. I was there graduating college when the first anime ever aired. So, you gather information, you gather experience, and because I am such a conduit of knowledge and wisdom, people often come to me, usually on their knees, saying, Master Taco Sensei, what is a hot take for us to take today? And then they whip themselves and stuff, and I just usually just give them a good old like in the name of the Father and the Holy Spirit and tentacles, and I bestow my wisdom upon them. I just put it on their brain. But today I'm going to do it with all of you. I'm going to slap my knowledge on your face, and I'm going to leave hopefully an impression, because I do have one take that I don't think I've ever really like expanded upon, that I do feel like we should talk about a little bit more often at least. And it's not necessarily an anime hot take that involves an anime saying, "Oh, I think that Demon Slayer is carried by animation," or "I think that My Dress Up Darling is overrated," or anything like that. I'm going to talk about like a general the anime fandom. Now, this hot take might be a little bit difficult to explain, but I'll try my best regardless. The hot take is this: I feel that the anime community in general lacks the ability to recognize flaws. All right? Are you still with me? Put attention to the class. Let me explain. I feel like the anime community in general, for the most part at least, can be very welcoming, especially to newcomers. I've seen a lot of reaction channels that react to like anime intros, and then people start spamming like, "Oh, you should watch this, you should listen to this," and then they want to react to anime, and they're like, "Yes." And I do think that it's kind of like a welcoming community for the most part, at least more welcoming than other fandoms. And I'm happy to say that. I think it's good. I think that's a good trait to have. But when it comes to discussions, I feel like that's where we lack maturity. I mean, that's rich coming from an adult that still watches cartoons, right? But let's say it the way it is. A lot of people do get into confrontations when it comes to their shows, because let's say that you have a show that you deem to be perfect, that you deem to be fantastic. Like for example, with me, Attack on Titan is my example. Attack on Titan, I think, is like the equivalent to the Lord of the Rings, but in anime. But whenever people do confront me to say, "Hey, I do think that it has its flaws," I try my very best to recognize that yes, in fact, Attack on Titan has flaws. And I try my best, like even if I feel like this grueling, like anger that no, you just don't get it, you baffling buffoon. But try to hold myself together before I rip their head off. So the thing that I've noticed is that when it comes to this type of confrontations, the anime community in general, it's too quick to be defensive about the things that they like. And it's not just like, you know, particular of the anime community. I see that especially in politics too, and like in everything. If you have your guy, if you have your show, if you have your food, and someone comes along and says that they don't like it, or they would rather have the other option, I see that the first instinct is to retaliate and say, "No, this is why you're wrong, okay?" And they just lay it on the table. Exhibit A, B, and C. And instead of being open to the possibility that, oh, you know what? someone might have a different opinion and a different taste. And I started to think about this because, as you probably know, I'm a video editor. I edit film for a living. Even though these videos, the ones that I put in this channel, have like little to no editing whatsoever and the lowest of effort. Because I edit all day on projects and I try to make them good. And I'm just too lazy to do it for a hobby. So that's why like I don't really put that much editing into this. Anyways, so going back to what I was talking about. When I started editing, uh, I didn't really like what I was editing because I wasn't editing something that I would watch. And my mentor grabbed me and like mentally dick slapped me in the face saying, don't edit for you because you are never going to watch this shit. But there's going to be a little old lady in hospice or like in an elderly home that will watch this cheesy ass shit and she'll feel happy. Edit for her. And that's kind of when I understood that there's audience for everything. Things that you will like will not be liked by others. Even if they're universally liked, there's still going to be people that will not agree with your take or your like or dislike. So I've noticed that there is quite a bit of people that really do become confrontational when it comes to their favorite thing. So I would say that the anime community has a big problem with this. That the moment you state something, instead of seeing it as a point of understanding, other people see it as a point of confrontation. And that's what I think should change. So my homework for you, my dear alumni, will be to ask your friends what they don't like about the shit that you like. You know, just ask them, hey, you know, I like Boku no Pico. Why don't you like Boku no Pico? And they can, they'll tell you, and they'll be like, oh, well, I can see that. Oh, so let me tell you why I don't like Redo of Healer. And they'll be like, oh, interesting. And then you can have an orgy. Who knows? The point is that it's good to try our best to be less confrontational. Let's not be blind or blind ourselves to the fact that the things that we like and the things that we agree on and the people that we support, they have flaws, all of them. Nothing is perfect. So whenever you try and, have discussions with people, just try to be open and try to always bring to mind the fact that everything has flaws. You can say what you like doesn't, but that just might be an excuse. So that's my rant for today. Bye.